Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the Game War in the Pacific Admins Edition. This is my play-by-email match against Italien. He's a Japanese player and for me it is the Allied side. It's New Year, January 1st, 42. And this is Midway. I'm bringing in supplies. Luckily no torpedo hit. In deep water, it's more or less nearly impossible for the Japanese to score a hit this early on. But a cruiser formation is intercepting here some cargo ships. Still at Mindanao. If I can keep the Japanese cruisers busy somewhere at the Philippine Sea, they cannot mess up with anything at Darwin or Java. And I intercept here another small cargo ship. No torpedo hit, but tons of shell hits, so likely going down. And still no hit on this E-boat. With explosion. Because I was mining Kota Baru, Italians sent some destroyer minesweepers from the Thai Navy. They did the job. Hit but no explosion with a Dutch submarine on a light cruiser. Would be nice. Yeah, but maybe better. At least I can escape all damage. This American submarine is suffering a little damage, but yeah, still maybe enough to still strike back. But I get still no explosion. And then it's enough and maybe better depart for port repair. No real success for me today with my submarine fleet. Kituputa is still west of Pago Pago, refueling. Airstrikes in China, still not really the issue for me. No airstrike from both carrier groups today. I can keep an eye on the enemy movements in the Dutch East Indies. I tried some bombardment of the Japanese because it's clear terrain, but these pilots are not trained for ground attacks. And I was not sure how high I go, how low I can go. Not that there's enemy flak guns and then shredder my aircraft. Yeah. More Japanese ships are sinking. And then one more hit but no explosion. So we're using surface guns if we can hit anything. Ah, 3 shells. The Japanese trying to storm Bataan, and they can reduce the fort 1-1, nearly 2-1. One regiment is disabled for the Japanese. For me, half regiment is also disabled. But the Japanese have 3 times the number, so it's a win for Japan, especially because they can lower the fort level. Bombardments, and my Filipino division gets kicked out again. This was clear terrain. I was trying to escape, but too much disruption, and I cannot move quickly enough. These are only civilians. My battery fire at Manila. I also bombard the Japanese, and they have no time to dig in, so they can still create damage on them. So I cannot really fight in a ground battle, but my guns, because I have here also this heavy coastal guns, and the game not limited anti-shipping guns to only anti-shipping, so I can use also this. I have here 10-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch guns. This will create a lot of damage for the troopers. Same situation here. I'm too weak to counterattack, but I can do their readiness. And this is now more or less the real first turn of the new year. So I start to upgrade my ships. Goody. No air losses on both sides. Don't know how the Japanese can fly so many missions, but I mean, at the end I fly much double the amount of missions, but for me it's 90% or 95% training missions. But yeah, you can also see that after the first year, but the new months, let's say this. So we have roughly really Japan lost double the aircraft compared to the Allies. Japan lost mainly, but Italien lost some kind of Navy fighters, Navy dive bombers, Navy search aircraft. These 2 air groups, no, this 11th, both on the ground, went down with a scout cruiser. That was the biggest success for my Navy so far. But you can see that there's a lot of other equipment getting destroyed, so it's nothing really special. I was able to kill, but these are all damaged by flak, I would say. Damaged by flak. Most of these aircraft are related to flak damage. Yeah. Direct or indirect, or sinking with the scout cruiser. For me, I lost a lot of Catalinas because I airlift a lot in my Filipino and Dutch units, and this will consume this kind of aircraft. Plus, this first attempt to stop the Japanese over Manila. What I was knowing is not working, but I won't give Italians this opportunity to do some damage. And I was also testing some stuff to really see if something is possible, but no, it's not really possible. Good. Air groups destroyed for me. These are the two air groups on. Yeah, the one air group was on my American heavy cruiser went down, and the other one was recon aircraft trying to escape New Caledonian. I mean, this guy I could buy back if I want. I don't know why, but and this the French guys make no sense why I won't pay 150 points for 3 recon. That is simply nonsense. Good. And out of this lost aircraft, you can see I had some killed pilots, little wounded, missing, so plus wounded, so 30, maybe in total, maybe 35 lost pilots so far. I have really no dogfighting. Biggest issue what normally that I lost here one of my best elite pilots at day 1 more or less, or day 2 of the war. He scored 1 hit and then he gets killed. Yeah, that was a little wasteful. Good. Ships. Of course, this is heavily related to Fog of War. I mean, these numbers are... I mean, because this game is split into subunits, Air War and the rest, I would say. So the Air War numbers are true. So these numbers are true. These numbers are also true, I would say. But the Navy stuff is special because it's always Fog of War. So you need to wait 3 or 4 months to really know the true numbers of the enemy side. So I guess this is underreported with 39 ships lost so far for Japan. But you can see it's maybe 5 to 1, 4 to 1, something like this. Of course, my ships are always true. That is at least something. So far, I lost the 3 battleships at Pearl Harbor. West Virginia was lost by the second strike on Pearl Harbor. That was unlucky because this was the battleship with 16-inch guns. This is some much more powerful compared to this 14-inch. Arizona is also, I mean, Pennsylvania class is okay. Oklahoma, Nevada class, this is a really second-class battleship. Plus these 2 heavy cruisers, they was fighting the enemy Nagato and Mutsu class battleships, and they did a decent job. They was able to sink this enemy scout cruiser, and they was able to hold against this Japanese battleship fleet so long was a surprise, a positive surprise. On top, I lost some good tanker, some decent APs, but you can say this is all fine. The dry dock is maybe okay, but this kind of stuff is supposed to be lost anyway, so if I lose it, it not hurt me really. And a big amount of smaller stuff, but who cares? So Japan, I was able to score 2 good hits. This was the scout cruiser. So not only the scout cruiser is destroyed, you can convert it to a light carrier, so that is lost for Italian. Plus all this aircraft and pilots on board. And the next big win for sure was this AMC. It was simply harassing my ships in the Alaska area. And the rest is a lot of cargo stuff. I don't think there was really destroyers, so I don't know. There was 1 torpedo hit, so maybe 2 destroyers and 1 torpedo boat destroyed. So not a lot of military equipment destroyed, but it's fine. If I can cripple Italians' cargo fleet, it's also a win for me. In ground units destroyed, it's of course always a one-sided show first. And here we have this mod, so we have all the civilian stuff. This you must more or less ignore. Problem is they are all official engineers, so I cannot kick them out, but I could do it, and then this looks like this. And white means I cannot call them back. This is lost anyway, and it is supposed to be lost, and you cannot buy it back. I could only buy back this HQ. This I will maybe do. It cost me only 3 points. And come back at Sydney. Yeah, this I can do. The rest is lost. And yeah. Oopsie. Pearl Harbor, repair work ongoing and will take more time. Here was an upgrade, so they already started here with refit, 59 days in refit. At the same time I have to repair the ships. This is why the ships are here now crazy high, but it's also the game push them in shipyard, and then the shipyard is overburdened. So I normally always say put them all in pier side. Because so long you have system damage, I always try to fix the pier side, or the system damage with pier side, and then first go to docks. And now it looks better. And still red, of course, but yeah. I have nothing really coming out of this dock so far. Maybe some heavy cruisers. But this heavy cruiser still needs the radar upgrades. Before I don't have radar, I cannot really use my ships aggressively. And I said first in April I will start aggressively pushing back. Good. So Pearl Harbor itself looks fine. I have more or less everything on training here. So 360 aircraft, not already, but they are training. And yeah. Nothing at Alaska, no one is here. I try to move everything first to Prince Rupert. And then Prince Rupert, I can rail it down to San Francisco, and San Francisco I will move it to where I need it. But here in the north, it's still cold. First in April, I think in April it will switch first from cold zone to normal zone. So you can always check this in the world map, no, in the weather map? I think weather map, yeah. So you can see this dark area, this is a cold zone. And here, but no one is here. Good, East Coast. Yeah, it's also my second big air fleet training center. Nothing really special to report here. It's all on training. So I need some decent pilots. I have already some good pilots, but it's starting first, so you can see that I have this is now the Navy, and I have already nearly 39 pilots, 35 pilots ready for combat, more or less. So I try to get first everyone ready. This is the Army pilots. Here I have not so many ready, but some pilots are already preparing for battle in the future. And this is the same with ground, for the ground attack pilots or bomber pilots, whatever. I don't know. Reserve. No, I don't have really anything in. Only 2 pilots ready here. This will take some weeks more to have really air fleet ready to counterattack. In April, latest in April, I can do this. Yeah, nothing really to explain here. I move a lot of stuff to first Christmas Island. to start building up this base because it's a link between Pearl Harbor and Pago Pago. So I need here maximum port capacity and also getting the airfield up. Because this is a mod, you can see that they changed some numbers. In the normal game, this is the airfield maximum of 5. Now it's only 3. So, but I want to have one base. You can also use this base, but this is even smaller. So Christmas Island is still better to build up. Especially, no, it's both atoll. But this is a 30,000 atoll, and this is only 6,000 atoll. So this is a normal atoll, and this is a big atoll. Enemy carrier fleet, you can see now I have more detection. So these are the tankers refueling Kidubutai. Next turn I will know if Kidubutai is going east, north, wherever, or falling back. Full speed is always stressing engines, so maybe his carriers have some engine trouble now. We must return to fixes. Pago Pago itself is so far not really heavily defended. I was only able to unload what is nearby. So I have some engineers and I start to build up here the port and the airfield. But if Italian want and have some units, he could try to rush this. But it's always very far away from everything else he has. Suva is looking fine. Here I have much more. Here are the New Zealand troopers. If once Kidubutai is not more here, I can get in reinforcements to build up here these 2 New Zealand regiments. They are now broken up so far. Yeah, I think Italian has enough to do to build up Nomaya and Luganville. Fatib maybe. He still have no link here at Short Islands and Tulagi, so these islands are cut off from the rest of his defense. Now my troopers are walking. Port Moresby is also here, but yeah. Normally the Japanese must take also Buna, Ley and this bay, Million Bay, to really support and secure the shipping to Port Moresby. Sydney is the Australian training hub. Also here, everything is training heavily on Navy strikes first. So you can see that I try my best to get here Navy pilots out of this. And once the Navy training is done, I will switch to ground attack so that I have multi-purpose pilots. Every pilot should have at least 2 skills ready. And yeah, and don't forget that these are training aircraft. Don't ever use them. Don't make Azurop style. You thinking that this kind of aircraft are for active missions. They're only training aircraft. Using this kind of stuff for combat missions is nonsense. Darwin looks fine. It is always a soft spot and a must-take normally for Japanese player because it's clear terrain and this is simply a port too close to Dutch East Indies to ignore. But I have here my Australian units. I will not bring in any additional stuff, not before April. So to give Italians a chance to take it. But I still also build up the defense. So Ambon is holding. Maybe I can reach fort level 2 soon. Who knows? Supply situation could be critical in 2-3 weeks, but not now. Maybe I can sneak in a little more supplies. I don't know. I fear now only submarines trying to defend. Kopeng, the next backup line, and the link between Java and Darwin is building up so slowly. Here's the same situation, even more critical. I have simply no engineers. The Dutch have no engineers in their units. But I try my best to airlift units to Kopeng to try to build up a defense. A lot of stuff is moving here around. You can see my Navy search is detecting all this Japanese movement. So I have a feeling where is what, but I only use submarines to really harass them. Mindanao. Here I have some more engineers, and I was able to finally also repair all the damage from the bombardments. This cost me a lot of time, but I can now start to build up a port level 3 to have a submarine safe port. And maybe fort level 3 also sooner or later. Bataan, fort build. I have here some engineers and I have supplies, and I have no damage on my base, so I will try to rebuild fort level 3. Manila is already fort level 3 is going for 4. And I have tons of engineers here and no damage. And you can see I have nearly 100k supplies upon fuel, so I can maintain my submarine fleet here for months if I want, if I can hold Manila. Biggest issue would be if the Japanese take Bataan and then throw mines into Bataan, then the port of Manila is maybe blocked for me. We will see how fast this happened. You also saw that my submarines are consuming a lot of torpedoes, and of course it's Mark 14s, what I can expect. In China, really nothing to discuss. I can only say Changsha have enough supplies, Zhongqing have enough supplies, Kunming is a little low on supplies to what I expecting, but more or less you can see the main road, every base on the main road or rail link have no issues with supplies. So there is no real supply issue on my side. It's not that it's perfect, but I have here some 1,000 tons of supplies in every base. This base is simply requesting tons of supplies, 10,000, so I need here normally 30,000 tons of supplies to be fully happy. That is simply not possible. But it's also related because I have here 3,000 AV. Simply to block enemy approach to cross the river here. It's swarms, so I can do this now. In the normal scenario 1 game, this is simply other topic. But this is Bottleneck, so you must adjust to your tactics. Burma, Rangoon, just arrived fort level 3. Now I can build up port and airfield. I'm waiting for Italian to arrive. And if it's April and I still hold Rangoon, and I will not send any reinforcements, so I have only what I have. 2 divisions are here. Yeah. So the 1st Burma division is helping now with construction work. And the 17th India division is also here, also helping with construction work. They're not really great. You can see the morale is just so and experience is on the lower end. But these are full divisions, so they can hold the town a little. It's like Singapore, urban light. It's not impossible for the Japanese to take it, but I have over 100k supplies, so that is normally the issue. You're running out of supplies and you don't have time to prepare your troops. So far I have no bombardment, no stress, so my British forces are getting stronger day by day. India is the same story. Trying to build up here fort level, airfield level 8 and then later 9 to have unlimited air capacity for any airstrikes against Burma. Ceylon, everything looks fine. Nothing to really discuss here because I build only up the equipment, bring in supplies, maintain everything, build up my supply chain. What I want to show here. Palmbang, I have here 5 engineers, so I can build up as little what I can do. I was able to save the British forces from Borneo, partly, but at least all the units are back here now in Palmbang, so I can start to rebuild them. Of course, a lot of material and men was lost here, but I was able to get 50% off the ground, and now I can rebuild them in Palmbang. But because this is bottleneck and you don't produce more supplies with refineries, I have big issues in Dutch East Indies with supplies. That is the opposite to scenario 1, where you have never an issue with supplies in Dutch East Indies. Now I have not enough supplies anywhere. So I need to get in supplies from India, Cape Town, and whatever. Good. I think this is all I have to discuss. Yeah. Good. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.